Now we see another one coming in, you know what I'm saying, talking about day of jihad sparks warning for Americans to stay inside by Nick Nor Don Dominic or something, Dominic or something like that, on 10/12/23 at 11:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Now we got these people up in here talking about some jihad. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to religion and jihad and these different things, that's your religion. You know what I'm saying? And if your God is this and God is that, why are you always so violent? This is the question that we must ask. You know what I'm saying? We know full well how America have treated, back and forth between two of you in this religious war that you have had for many, many, many generations. You know what I'm saying? And you continue down the same road. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it wasn't Black Lives Matter in the streets ripping up everything in town, now we have to hear, this stuff about, you know, jihad and this different type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time as a nation, as a people on planet Earth to consistently, instigate war against each other. You know what I'm saying? You need to start to understand that we have a bigger picture ahead that needs to be focused on in all realms. But at the same time, we see Americans are armed. They are armed and they will not be intimidated. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact and point blank. As Americans, born here, raised here, we must now get on the ball and have our watchers on the wall. You know what I'm saying? All around the bowl. You know what I'm saying? No one must come on this land and do anything because this would be the area in which we would use to, bring many of them to justice. You know what I'm saying? We don't need chaos here in the United States. So we're calling on all and all. And this is where many people talk about their gangsterism. Well, we need to see it. We need the soldiers there. We ain't talking about raping, killing, murdering, blood sucking, all kinds of Luciferian nonsense. We're talking about soldiers in the game. You know what I'm saying? To be watching your neighborhoods and shopping malls and everywhere that you can think of, churches, shopping malls, mosques, everywhere must be watched here in the United States. The United States must not be allowed to blow up into no chaotic nonsense based on these people having this religious thing going back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? The common people is not involved in these things. You know what I'm saying? The common people is the people in itself, and they are the ones that bear most of this brutality impact by these individual acts. Americans are armed and they are not going to be intimidated, and that's right. Be ready to ride, cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Be ready to ride, cowboy. Mount up. You know what I'm saying? Commentator, you know what I'm saying, including, what I'm saying, the Representative Matt Gaetz, what I'm saying, has said after a former Hamas chief called for a day of jihad by Muslims. Yes, okay, who invite them in that they can do this type of bullshit in the first place? Talking about a day of jihad by Muslims, what I'm saying, the Muslim community around the world on Friday, October 13th. But we see Khalid, what? Masala, whatever his name is, who now heads up the militant group, what I'm saying, uh, Diaspora or whatever office in Qatar, Qatar or whatever, told the Welcome News on Wednesday or news or whatever they call themselves that Muslims should head to the square and the streets of the Arab and Islamic world on Friday and hold mass protests in support of the Palestinians as the conflict with Israel intensifies. You know what I'm saying? You know, Israel should have never went into that region and we wouldn't be here right now. Many politicians had a chance to quell many of this, But instead of quelling it, you exacerbate the situation to the point that it's now gotten this bad. You know what I'm saying? But this has been going on for a minute. It ain't like it just happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And we know the historical value, like I said. But the video posted on YouTube, but since removed, he also called for Muslims to show anger on Friday and send a message of rage to Zionists, and here we go, Zionists and to America, according to transcript post on X, formerly Twitter. Gates, a Florida Republican, you know what I'm saying, reassure a post about Michelle Masala, whatever his name, comments on X, you know what I'm saying, better known as, you know, whatever, you know, he said FAFO, you know what I'm saying, fuck around and find out Floridians are armed, we won't be intimidated, you know what I'm saying? That's right, you know what I'm saying, and watch for them sneak attacks. Watch for them sneak attacks. You see, this is a lot of stuff that the Muslims did based on the religion in which you saying is this and saying is that. Nobody's mad at nobody for your religion. Nobody mad at you for that at all. If that's the religion in which you choose, ain't that the religion which you choose? And isn't that your personal thing? What is this? What the Muslim is a gang now? You know what I'm saying? A gang of killers? You know what I'm saying? Because that's all we see. Even when it played up to the stuff with Bush talking about terrorism and so on and so on and so on. You know, you saw people who were claiming to be, or maybe not, or maybe is, or maybe was, or maybe still is, who knows, Muslims. And they were doing a lot of these type of attacks and so on and so on. But to me, that's not going to solve anything except cause death and destruction. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about a religion in any shape or form, you know what I'm saying? Because I know where you got it from. I know all about it. I know how it became to be, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? You need to start to understand that that's your choice, that's your thing, but not to inflict damage on the rest of the world. Same thing go for Christianity. You know what I'm saying? How many years have you done barbarism and barbarism bullshit to races of people, especially black people as well? You know what I'm saying? Using us even as sexual objects, you know what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Even up to now, you're still doing the same thing today. You know what I'm saying? And you did that many years, enslaving, hurting, killing, the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So we know Christianity and even discrimination at highest levels have even come from that. You know what I'm saying? So we and all types of slavery across the planet Earth by these three groups. You know what I'm saying? And they need to chill out. You know what I'm saying? You need to chill out. Same thing goes for the situation over there with Ukraine and Russia. You know what I'm saying? There should be nobody fueling that war or sending any more other than to protect both sides until this thing, and one side can protect itself, you know what I'm saying, and protect both sides or whatever the case may be, to stand down and come to some kind of agreement. You know what I'm saying? We do not want to hear consistently this bullshit about war garbage from these demon blood sucking Democrats and their bullshit. And if there are any Republicans that's involved in this type of shit, needs to remove itself from the Republican Party, because you are not a soldier to the Republican and the Republican man and the Republican of the people. You know what I'm saying? You know, in more ways than one. You know what I mean? We keep hearing this type of nonsense on the tube. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants to hear that stupidness. You know what I'm saying? All across the news, the same thing. Another distraction on what's really going on, while Germany and Alan Moss is over there funding, you know what I'm saying, and sending weapons to these different countries. You know what I'm saying? Alan Moss should be ashamed of himself and be driven from our country if he continued down that road anyway, because he no more than an instigator in all shapes and forms. You know what I'm saying? And he's working to me just as a scrambler in the middle. That's why he bought Twitter. You see what I'm saying? But we see where a miscalculation of Hamas, you know, say in itself, Hamas has came at dawn and murdered with abandon, came and murdered with abandon. Wait, Hamas has come at dawn and murdered. with abandon. It had the element of surprise. Israel was unprepared. You know what I'm saying? This was unprecedented. This was unprecedented Israel security. You know what I'm saying? Barriers breach. Israel community and military base overrun. Territory, uh, conquered, and horrific uh, casualties inflicted. Yet the consequence of the actions may be ultimately ultimate spell Hamas dismiss or dismise or whatever, demise or whatever. Did it lead to not did its leaders not game this scenario? You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, the answer likely is that they did and miscalculated by misreading Israel and the United States. You know what I'm saying? Again, why is the United States involved in this other than to bring about a peace agreement? And why have you over the many years, you know what I'm saying, support Israel in even Israel conduct and human violations of many people? You know what I'm saying? This is what we're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So the war on both sides seems to have the one side forcing in, one side discriminating, so on, back and forth. And now we have this type of conflict across the planet. And people are, the common people do not need to be in this matter at all. They need to be removed from that. We see the prominence of splitting New York State into a what? Auto, autonomous region believe movement has momentum. Yeah, and they could do whatever they want to the place, but forget about the people in itself. Make all kinds of weird decisions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, even here we see New York NYPD prepares for a pro-Palestine demonstration Friday. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, you see who's out there in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I spot him right in the crowd. Yeah, I see you too. Don't think I don't. You know what I'm saying? So we know who's out there funding this. Everywhere you go, you will see 18 chong bing. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, mysterious flame spotted in the Florida sky. You know what I'm saying? Proof outside is sure. You know what I'm saying? A mysterious flame. You know what I'm saying? Spotted in the sky. You know what I'm saying? In Florida, as we see here where resident, Florida has reportedly unidentified light occurring in the sky with much speculation following. The southern state, known for numerous UFO sightings, is faced with yet another unexplained aerial incident. What could it be? The unexplained unexplained celestial event or evidence human made machines with much decision human made machines, you know what I'm saying, well, advanced human made machines with much discussion currently taking place. The mystery remains unsolved. Engage in the discussion and join the search after subscribing. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, we know for well we would be naive to think that we're the only people in the whole wide galaxy, and the whole wide galaxy has billions of galaxies. You know what I'm saying? New York Governor Kathy Nutcase Hoxel backs suspension of right to shelter as a influx strain the city. Well, that's what you wanted to do, wasn't it, Kathy Hawk? So you and the even Democrats voted for that in all shapes and forms and ways, as we see. You're the ones who decide that y'all want to flood the city and allow them in. And you have made even New York a sanctuary city. So you are the betrayers of New York in itself. You, Como, and the rest of y'all fools. You know what I'm saying? You have all betrayed New York in all shapes and forms. You know what I'm saying? Even down to cue ball, greasy head, cue ball, skin ball Adams. You know what I'm saying? The so called fake ass mayor. You know what I'm saying? And Bill de Blasio wasn't no better than me. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least he was better than you. You know what I mean? But in more ways than one, these governors and mayors of New York and these different cities is the one who have screwed us over royally in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? If Kathy Hossel and Greasy Head Screwball, Greasy Head Ass Adams had stood up to the Demon Democrats and blocked any influx of migrants into New York City, it wouldn't be looking like it is now. And then at the same time, influxing them and putting them in fresh hotels, like I said before, you know what I'm saying, giving them every fucking thing they could possibly give them, but never gave it to us. And if they gave us anything at all, the scrupulization on the black people getting it, you know what I'm saying, for some of us, never even really got a chance to understand the true benefit of it without all types of paperwork, propaganda, and bullshittical garbage, even coming from social service and many agencies who's supposed to be providing these necessary things for black people and the people of America in all shapes and forms. Now, all of a sudden, she's decided to flip the script and talk about the right to shelter after this strain in New York City, but she still ain't stopping the influx coming from the border. So she ain't no more than a sellout using her little scheme scattergo to keep herself in some type of limelight, as her light has already faded along a long time ago with Komoro Moracia and her whole fucking administration. I don't know why you put this woman in there, knowing full well that she's going to pull the same game as Como would have pulled. You know what I'm saying? Now she speaks up about right to shelter after the border and the influx in New York City is overwhelming and the border is still not closed. Yeah. So who's Kathy Hoxel fooling? So if you don't have a right to shelter, then where are they going to end up? In the streets and cause chaos. This is no more than a Luciferian, blood sucking, demon democratical, hell bound fucking piece of shit. Like I said, with those six Baphomet statues in front of six state capitals, I mean, six state buildings in the South. She ain't fooling me. You know what I'm saying? She's garbage. This is to create tyranny, chaos, you know what I'm saying, and tragedy at its fullest. This is why you see all these wars. They're trying to make their fake Bibles real. You know what I'm saying? But we see ex-prosecutor say Jack Smith hasn't just taken off the gloves. He with a new Trump move, you know what I'm saying? Jack Smith ain't no more than Letitia James idiot as well. You know what I'm saying? A chump that to be used like a tool, a dupe really. You know what I'm saying? But we see Lisa Morgan one day ago. We see Special Counsel Jack Smith on Tuesday filed motions that urges U.S. District Court. You know what I'm saying? Tanya, I think her name is what? Chuckin or whatever, to put a gradual a guardrail in place to protect the possible jurors in the Donald Trump election subversion case. The former U.S. Army prosecutor Glenn Skyshire or whatever suggested Smith hadn't just taken off the gloves with the move. It looks like he's boxed them up. He's boxed them up, taped up, and taped up. I guess he's saying he boxed them up, taped up the box, and sent them to a long-term storage. Kirshner, or whatever his name is, said on a new episode of his Justice Matter podcast. We see Smith encourage Chalkin to streamline the jury selection process with a questionnaire for potential jurors, ban their details from being public and prohibit, he banned their details from being public. You know what I'm saying? He encouraged Chapman to streamline the jurors' selection process with a questionnaire for potential jurors, ban their details from being public, and prohibit direct contact between attorneys and jurors. Yeah. Wow. The motion refers to Republican 2024 front runner Donald J. the Mighty Trump attack. No, the Mighty Donald J. Trump on trying to clean up. I don't know about no attack, but you call it attack on a social media of, of a court official in civil fraud trial in New York, which prompted a judge to slap the you say president with a gag order. Why would you tell that shows guiltiness in itself and you should be removed from the court? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's impartial and justification, then he should be able to say whatever he wants to say based on the accusations based against him in all shapes and form, whether it's publicly or in the court. It's not going to make any difference by you putting a gag order. The gag order is probably so that he don't tell the bullshit that you are doing and the lying shit that I've seen that you have done in more ways than one. This fucked up looking whatever judge he Choctaw or whatever his name is, looking, you know, say is mediate. You know what I'm saying? Talking about a gag order. Yeah. Yeah. But we see Trump's lawyer has opposed the motion, said Kishner. If Donald J. Trump has shown anything to be true, it is he is willing to endanger witnesses, jurors, prosecutors, judges, their represent. What the fuck is your clown ass son of a bitch doing? Is the question. You talking about endangering jurors? You talking about Donald Trump will endanger witnesses, jurors, prosecutors, judges, their respective family members, and he added, "No, no, no, you're wrong. He's not endangering none of that. You, the demon democratical and the demon democratical witnesses, jurors, prosecutors, judges, and respective family members of whoever he's talking about in the demon democratical mind frame, you have pulled your family, just like all of us seems to be doing these days, into the harm's way. You know what I'm saying? Because you know full well that what you are doing is criminal to its fullest, is disrespecting the constitutional laws that should be in place to protect the president in all ways. You are trying to even violate that. You are causing wars and rumors of wars all across the planet Earth to serve your creepy Bible and so forth on. You know what I'm saying? While you're sitting up there lying your ass off talking about he's endangering somebody, you have endangered him. So what are you talking about? You have endangered the President of the United States of America. No, the President of the United States. You can keep all that other stuff because it represents something in more ways than one. Not just the word America, but the way it's presented. You know what I'm saying? We know what it means. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about the United States. So you have endangered the United States, you have endangered the president, and you have endangered the political spectrum as a whole. You have lost the integrity, the trust, and all types of things in your electoral process. You have made it a complete three-ring circus show and a disgrace, you know what I'm saying, of your so-called whatever superiority you think that you ever had. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at you putting a gag order because you're saying he's willing to jeopardize witnesses and this, what the hell do you think you're doing to the man? You saying that he attacked the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of vigilantes and different people could have seen that a different way and harmed this man, which you're probably trying to do in more ways than one, such as what you did to John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. But when we see the respective and is willing to urge supporters to do all sorts of let them call inappropriate things. That's bullshit. You did that with Black Lives Matter and the Demon Democratical Group. You urged them to go across and rip up every town, country, every shop, every to the way the people had to arm themselves and say, if Black Lives Matter come through their town, they're gonna light their asses up, which is only right. You know what I'm saying? Because Black Lives Matter had no right to be tearing up other people's stores who work hard for what they achieved. It doesn't matter what you have to say about how they achieved it, because you have the same right to do so. And Black Lives have enough money right now to possibly do that for every black person and every person, white or black, running in your Black Lives Matter squad. You know what I'm saying? So don't come with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of y'all putting forward any money or any effort to clean up the black community, but always talking about some Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, now our neighbors are being influxed by outsiders and foreigners. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where, you know what I'm saying, he seems to be willing to make them do appropriate things, you know what I'm saying, and help him to avoid any evade the responsibility of crime. What crime? The only crime that was met against Donald Trump was done by the demon democratical system. And it goes to show that our justice system is full of shit in more ways than one. And it needs to be fucking cleaned up from all these decades and years of Luciferian demon democratical one-sided garbage and infiltration of parties, presidents, clergies, and everyone else being harmed by your will to stay in power and not respect the United States no more than I said a bloody bread basket. And you continue to do the same thing with religion, all types of stuff, leading the people astray. Leading the people astray.